Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War with Darth Mod. We're playing as the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. In the last video, we finalized the defeat over the Swedish. Now this video, I'm pretty sure everyone was hoping that we're gonna see a battle with the Winged Hussars, as my army is just off to the left here out of screen. But I thought, since I'm gonna have to end turn for that, and I didn't really want to fight this battle on the enemy's terms, or really lose the opportunity to even to attack these guys, that they were gonna just move away. So I want to do this one first. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and strike the enemy and have Hugo Dolka destroy the Ottomans once more. So according to this, we have a slight advantage, and I say we have a pretty big advantage given the numbers and the fact that the Ottoman army carries no cannons whatsoever. Interestingly enough, they have some African infantry guards with them. Not that they're any good. Do they have any good units? Most of these have 20 accuracy, which is bloody terrible. They do have a lot of melee infantry and a lot of cavalry, so this is quite interesting. This army is pretty old. I haven't upgraded the cannons or anything, and it still carries pikemen. But then again, pikemen has been shown to be really effective against the Ottomans. And they're starting to get quite a bit of chevrons as well. But then again, they lose a lot of troops. So they I think they have had higher amount of like chevrons before. With that said, we're gonna jump straight into this battle, so without further ado, let's strike the enemy and bring them down from the hills of Anatolia. I thought they're actually gonna be hills because of the fact that the Ottomans were kind of standing close up to the hills. Now there are a few high kind of, yeah, hills, well, mountains is what I was saying. I thought they were gonna be up here in the mountains, but it's kind of in this open ground. We've chosen an area where, unfortunately, this little village is gonna be the main site of the battle. My line is pretty standard for what we've seen from Dolka before. What I've gone ahead and done is I put all the line infantry in the first rank. Then in the second rank we got the pikemen, and in the third we got the grenadiers. Up on the hill behind them I've got all my artillery pieces. And then on my left we've got the lancers, and on my right the provincial cavalry. Dolka is back here to overview the entire battle. Right, let's go ahead and start, shall we? The Ottomans have a few forward Janissary units. And then a massive amount of troops back here. Got some African guards, kind of interesting to see them. With their white uniforms. For some reason wearing kind of European style uniforms compared to the rest of the Ottoman army, which is kind of out of place. Let's see what the Ottomans have in store. We have already tore down one of the houses here. Damn, there's a lot of people. I guess all the cannons focus in on this one area. And these Janissaries have decided, you know what, we're probably not going to be in the village for the continuation of this artillery bombardment. Ah, you know what? We're aiming for this unit, but we're hitting this one, which is lying hidden here. So the Ottomans seems to just be dragging out their troops in a long line, and I think we're gonna gain ground to get a more favorable view. I'm wondering where to drag it out. This is two huge lines. So I think we'll start drawing the line from over here and going all the way across. And I think we're gonna go for a slight angle like that. And there is where we're gonna advance. The pikemen are gonna follow. I mean, 40 stack army is pretty darn cool, but I mean, it's so many units, and it's, I mean, the lines. So we don't have pike coverage on this side, but I do have the cavalry, and I can see that they're not really putting a lot of troops over on this side. Travel through. I mean, my army really covers the entire map. It's gonna have the Lancers then have to charge uphill. Looks like they're placing more troops over on this side, and especially more cavalry, so it's good that I'm placing more pikemen over there on this side. I should really have my cannons focus in on some of these Mamluk units in the back. They have a lot of cavalry, the enemy, so that's where their strength is for the Ottomans. But I think that's kind of been true for quite a while. Now all the cannons are continuously trying to bombard this unit. I'm going to tell the cannons to hold fire, fire at will again, and pick new targets. It's interestingly that they're not actually moving forward to engage me. Normally the AI, or at least what I'm used to playing Napoleon, is when they have only when they have the cavalry advantage, not the cavalry advantage, the cannon advantage is when they hold their positions. When they don't, that's when they charge. Oh yeah, I forgot to put in the grenadiers. I'm pretty sure that my cavalry and the troops on this side will be able to hold. So the side where I think we could have problem could be more towards the center left. So I'm gonna move the grenadiers over here, because they're placing a lot of Mamluks and cavalry over on that side. And just because they have their strong point over there, I think we're gonna make our moves here to start off with. So we're gonna get these three to advance forward together with the cavalry, and we're gonna see if we can get the Ottomans to kind of come against the rest of these. And you know what? Now when I think about it, I do think the Ottomans, I mean, they don't have any cannons, and I think that given the risk of a cavalry charge, we're gonna basically form like what's it called, a tercio formation, where we're gonna place the pikemen really close to the musketmen, so to try and deter the enemy from shooting at us, or not shooting at us, but charging with cavalry. So I'm pretty sure we'll win the fight, the what's it called, the musket fight. You know what? I'm gonna concentrate the artillery on, you know what, blow through there, and we can kind of see if we can blow through everything, all those cavalry units there. And it really woke up the enemy army. And with them reshuffling their force, that's actually going to leave an opening here where we can quickly fill up with our troops. So as they're just moving around being idiots, I'm gonna move in, take control of that area, and then we've got these pike lines. I wonder if... usually this doesn't really work, does it? And I'm afraid that the unit is gonna like stand kind of too close to the units for them to actually be able to properly fire if I move into that kind of formation. Oh, they're shooting their bows. Before you fire, I actually want you to move. They have a pretty high fire rate. But so do we, and I think we actually got better fire rate. It's a bit of a risk that they're outflanking. Look at that, they're moving forward in a rather rapid speed. Janissaries are moving up the flank. I'm gonna move these guys back. And then I'm gonna move one cavalry unit over here ready to charge. Okay, the main line is now starting to open fire. You can see the smoke columns are rising over on this side. I'm actually gonna pull back the lancers a bit and kind of invite the enemy to kind of strike the pike unit here in the flank. Imagine if the Ottomans had cannons. This would be, I mean, it would be pretty hard to miss this formation. Okay, as I thought, the Ottomans are gonna not go for this line at all, and they're gonna charge in for these. Kind of surprised that we haven't run this or shot these guys down yet. The Kurdish hillmen will run them down. They're already running, but I saw them already placing their sneaky spikes there, so I want to shoot this unit down. Oh, we're breaking these two so we can advance these down the line. Looks like the main fight is going down right here. And look at that, the Ottoman took the bait. And they've sent the cavalry in around there. The Lancer's going to come in back. And I'm going to send over the Grenadiers to be ready to stop them. Ooh, this pike unit is actually not doing too well. It was actually on the verge of routing for some reason. And the unit in front is not doing well either. But the rest of the units are. Just absolutely cutting down the enemy. Alright, so I'm hoping... Why did you not charge in? I ordered you to charge. Get the bloody Lancers in there. And what I think we'll do is we'll do this. So Grenadiers advance even further. I'm not going to tell them to fire at will just yet. I'm going to see if I can redraw the two infantry units and then open fire. Most of the Ottoman units on the front line are falling back. They're getting shot to pieces. Oh, we've got some Sekban Janissaries. Small unit. About to get overrun by my cavalry. Oh shit. This cavalry unit is kind of on its own out there. And it's not too happy about the situation. Infantry forward to aid. The main line is holding. It's going pretty well. Okay, the two infantry units are now gonna pull back here. I'm gonna try to avoid getting completely slaughtered. The Lancer is gonna pull back. And then if you can go there, and then you can kind of go there. And then we're gonna order the Grenadiers to fire at will. Definitely gonna break the enemy. The pikemen gonna form right behind, and this little unit is gonna form right there. It's gonna hold fire. You know what? Form square. The center is holding, but I think we need to push forward the pikes at certain areas here. Around the road, there was a lot of heavy fighting. Okay, my cavalry unit actually survived being right in the middle of all that crap. Gotta avoid the enemy's cavalry hindrance that they've placed. This unit, I do not like that that's still standing there. I want the cannons to break down that house and get through there. Okay, the Grenadiers absolutely crushed all the enemies on that side. Now they will fling out on that side. Why are you not firing at will? Oh, now they started. the pike unit is dealing with the cavalry. And now with the... yeah, we broke down the house and we sent the African guard away. Tell the cannons to hold fire. My units are cutting down that unit. I want you now to retreat. You've lost enough men. They're still fighting down here. There's still that cavalry unit here. Forward the pikes. See if the pikes can fall in on that unit. Have this unit pull back a little bit. And this one as well. Up there at the front they lost quite a lot of men. So this unit lost about 200 men and this one only lost... I meant that one also lost 200 men. The Grenadiers taking their sweet old time. I guess I forgot to tell them to open... to run. I'm gonna run across that road. Take a position there. And boom! We won the battle. A big part of the fight was right here, but they weren't able to break through even though they put a lot of effort trying to break through here. Their greatest chance was here because they were able to come around and attack the pikemen in the back. And there was a high loss of Polish troops here, but we had anticipated that, so we sent in the Grenadiers, and with the Lancers coming in afterwards, that dealt with the enemy. The enemy is not really able to take back the hill once they start to reshuffle their position, and I crushed them. And so now the road, if I want to capture the rest of Anatolia, the road to that is open, and we do not need to worry too much about that big army coming and attacking Constantinople and trying to retake that. And with that, we will end the battle and go back to the campaign map, shall we? And here are the statistics of the battle. Now, we did already outnumber the enemy by quite a lot of men. 8,000, almost 9,000 men against 6,000. So for every one man they... Well, for every 2 men they put up, I put up 3. I mean, it's not that great. Oh, look at that. That line infantry. It must have been... Where could this have been? They were 80 men strong, so it's one of those that held right in the center. And they managed to shoot down 468 enemies. I try to avoid a lot of the close-ups just because I know that the FPS falls. Or right like in the thick of those like major battles. And the thing is, I don't think those look very good anyways, because they're all the troops kind of clump in together. And you just get this kind of just hodgepodge of arms and legs flailing about, and it doesn't look as cool, I think, as looking at not necessarily bigger picture, but closing in on the smaller fights. We got some line infantry, pikemen. Provincial cavalry did pretty well, but overall it seems like the kills were concentrated to these 2 units, which probably stood there in the front line. And some pikemen there. Demi-cannons did not do too well. Once we upgrade to better cannons, I think that will change. More accurate and also higher fire rate, I imagine. But it was a good victory, even though it counted as a close victory. Possibly because the Ottoman army actually survived and were able to retreat back to their shitty hole. Thing is, I am in no interest to follow them and take that, because what I want to do, which I think I said in the previous video, is that I want to capture all of this and then I want to start focus on either Austria or Russia. The thing is, Russia looks really weak, while Austria looks very strong, given the fact that they have taken, marched all the way to Paris and taken that. They've even started building ships over at Brest Dockyard. And I think it's being rather easy at this point. So what I would do is I would declare war on both of them at the same time. Possibly not even making sure to break the alliance beforehand, just to get that negative aspect across all of the world, which could possibly lead into multiple nations piling onto me, which could be very interesting, and I said which too many times. But I think we're gonna end the video right here. Oh, I clicked on a town. One thing that I noticed though, with the thing which I was talking about in the last one, when I click on towns and they kind of lag like hell, is that it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be in the editing software. What it shows and what it records, it records a still picture, like just if I had taken a screenshot, and it doesn't affect the voice at all, so I keep talking through that. But it probably would look a little bit weird if I kept that in. So, but it's not a major problem for me, and so far in this episode we haven't seen nothing of it, so that's good. But then again, I haven't clicked on any towns. With that fight done, then it's quite clear that the next one is going to be the fight over here, where the Winged Hussars are going to sweep away the Ottomans out of the Macedonian farmland. And we're going to take this army, continue on, take Bosnia, and that's going to kind of complete it. And then we're going to move, this army is going to take that, and then move down, maybe combine them to siege Athens. But I think we're going to need artillery for that. So it could be that Dolka could send his old cannons over to actually aid them. Should probably actually start moving the artillery already for that. Alternatively, oh no, though I can't bring them by ship. So bring the artillery, all start moving them away, and also start recruiting some new artillery for Dolka, some howitzers and some 12-pounders. But yeah, with that said, it's time to end the episode. And so with that, I say as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I see you guys for the next one. Bye!